Rami lived in the city of Zandor, a place full of glowing towers, floating vehicles, and streets that never slept. The city was alive with sound, light, and motion. Even at night, the sky was bright with neon signs, hovercraft trails, and blinking drones. For Rami, life in Zandor was both exciting and exhausting. He worked long hours as a delivery pilot, moving packages across the city in his small hovercraft. Every day he fought traffic, weather, and occasional danger, all to provide for his daughter Nia. Nia was only 10, but she was bright and curious. She loved to build small machines, tinker with gadgets, and explore the parts of the city most people ignored. Rami had tried to keep her safe, but the city was a big place, and curiosity sometimes led her into trouble. Still, Rami smiled when he watched her explore. He knew she had a spark inside her that could grow into something extraordinary if given the chance. It was late afternoon when the incident happened. Rami was returning from a long delivery in the eastern sector of Zandor. The sun was low, casting orange reflections on the glass towers, and the air smelled faintly of ozone from the hovering vehicles. As he navigated his hovercraft down a narrow street, he noticed a commotion near a transport hub. People were running, shouting, and pointing upward. Curious, Rami slowed down. Then he saw it. A massive transport drone had malfunctioned and was falling from the sky. Its metal frame swung dangerously, smashing against the support beams of a nearby platform. Below, a female officer in the city's law enforcement uniform was trapped. She struggled to free herself as debris rained down around her. Rami's heart raced. He had faced dangers before, but this was different. The drone could crush anyone in seconds, and the crowd was frozen in fear. Without thinking, he pushed his hovercraft into position beneath the falling debris. Using the craft's grappling hook, he aimed to stabilize the falling drone just enough to give the officer a chance to escape. The drone rocked violently, and sparks flew. Rami could feel the heat through the hull of his craft. He shouted, "Hold on! I'll get you out." The officer looked down, her eyes wide with fear. She nodded, trusting him even though she didn't know his name. With skill and determination, Rami adjusted the grappling hook and braced the hovercraft against a nearby wall. The drone's frame shifted, almost falling again, but Rami held firm. He maneuvered carefully, inching closer to the trapped officer. Her uniform was torn and she had scratches on her arms, but she stayed calm. She reached out toward him as he extended a stabilizing beam from his craft. The tension was unbearable. The crowd held its breath. Sparks flew from the drone, some hitting the ground with loud cracks. Rami's hands were steady, his mind focused entirely on saving the officer. With one final push of the controls, he managed to lift the debris just enough for her to climb onto his hovercraft. "Quickly!" Rami shouted. "Hold tight!" The officer grabbed onto the railing and Rami soared upward, avoiding falling metal and crashing vehicles. The crowd below erupted in cheers, but Rami did not look down. He kept his eyes on the path ahead, steering carefully until they were safely away from danger. When the hovercraft finally landed on a safe platform, Rami and the officer were shaken but unharmed. She slid off the craft, brushing dust from her uniform. "Thank you," she said, her voice steady but filled with relief. "I don't know what would have happened if you weren't here." Rami nodded, catching his breath. "It was nothing. I just saw you in trouble and acted." The officer looked at him closely. She seemed impressed, not just by his courage but by the calm and careful way he had handled the situation. "I'm Officer Tara," she said, "and I owe you my life, Rami. I hope I can repay you someday." Rami smiled, feeling a strange warmth. He had never expected recognition for what he did. For him, it was simply instinct. He glanced at the platform's edge, thinking of Naya waiting at home. "Just glad everyone is safe." "That's enough for me." Tara nodded, her eyes softening. "I can see why someone like you would be a great father. Your daughter must be lucky to have you." Rami's chest tightened. He thought about Nia, about how she loved to build small flying robots and how she always asked questions about the stars, the city, and everything around her. He wondered if she would understand the courage it took to face danger and help others. He felt a quiet pride. "Come on," Tara said gently. "I should check your craft and make sure everything is safe. Then maybe you and I can talk. I want to know more about the man who saved a cop today." Rami followed her, curious and cautious. He did not know that this meeting would change Nia's life forever. The repair bay was quiet compared to the chaos outside. Tara examined the hovercraft with professional skill, pointing out minor damages and asking questions. Rami answered simply, explaining how he had learned to maneuver quickly and trust his instincts. He tried to downplay the danger, but Tara shook her head. You were brave, yes, but also smart, she said. You didn't just rush in blindly. You calculated, you planned, and you acted. That combination is rare these days. Rami laughed softly. I guess I had no choice. Someone had to help. It could have been anyone, but it happened to be me. Tara looked at him seriously. You saved me, but what really impressed me was your care. You thought about my safety and the people around us. That shows character, Rami. Not everyone would risk themselves like that. Rami felt a mix of embarrassment and pride. He had never considered himself special. He was just a father trying to make life better for his daughter. Still, hearing Tara's words made him feel seen, like someone understood the quiet battles he fought every day. After the repairs, Tara invited Rami to walk with her. They stepped out into the bustling city streets. The neon lights reflected in puddles from a recent rain, and flying vehicles hummed above them. For a moment, the world felt calm despite the chaos of the day. Tara turned to him. I want to know about your daughter, Nia. I saw her interest in your gadgets last time I visited your small workshop. She has potential. She's curious and intelligent. She could do amazing things if given guidance. Rami's heart skipped a beat. He had always tried to encourage Nia, but he had little time and limited resources. The thought of someone else helping her, someone experienced and trustworthy, was both exciting and frightening. She's smart, Rami said carefully. She likes to build, to experiment. I just want her to be safe and happy. Tara smiled warmly. I can help her grow safely. There's a program I work with that mentors young minds, teaches them about technology, ethics, and responsibility. Nia could learn a lot, and she would be protected from those who misuse tech. Rami paused, thinking. He wanted Nia to have opportunities, but he feared exposing her to danger. It's a big step, he said slowly. I don't know if I'm ready to let her go that far. Tara nodded. I understand. It's a big step for any parent, but sometimes the right guidance can make all the difference in a child's life. Rami looked at her, the city lights reflecting in her eyes. He thought of Nia's smile when she built her first small drone, the way she could lose herself in a project for hours. He realized she deserved more than their small apartment and the limited life he could give. Maybe this was the chance he had been waiting for. Maybe, Rami started, then smiled. Maybe she should meet you. Tara's eyes lit up. I think she will be amazed. And I think you will be amazed at how much she can learn. You are raising a special girl, Rami. Don't ever doubt that. Rami felt a weight lift from his shoulders. He had always tried to protect Nia, but he also wanted her to grow, to explore, to achieve. Maybe now, with Tara's guidance, she could do more than he had ever imagined. As they walked back toward the hovercraft, Rami felt a quiet excitement. He did not know exactly what the future held, but he knew one thing. Today had changed everything. Not just for Tara, not just for him, but for Nia. And in the back of his mind, he realized something important. Sometimes helping others also opens doors for those we love most. The next morning, Rami woke to the soft hum of the city outside his window. Hovercrafts zipped between the glass towers and distant lights flickered on the streets below. Nia was already awake, her small hands moving quickly as she adjusted a miniature drone she had built the night before. Rami watched her from the doorway, feeling a familiar swell of pride. Nia, he said softly, I need to talk to you about something. Nia looked up, her bright eyes curious. What is it, Dad? Rami took a deep breath. Do you remember the lady I helped yesterday? The police officer Tara? Nia's face lit up. Yes, you saved her. That was amazing, Dad. Rami smiled. She wants to meet you. She has something important to show you. Something that could help you learn more about your gadgets and machines. Nia's eyes widened. Really, me? Why would she care about my projects? Rami chuckled. Because she noticed how smart and creative you are. She works with people who help young inventors. She thinks you have potential. Nia's excitement bubbled over. She jumped up and hugged her father. Can we go meet her now? Please, Dad. Rami laughed. Not yet. We need to get ready, and I want to make sure it's safe. She'll come to our apartment first, then we can talk about her program. A short while later, there was a soft knock at the door. Rami opened it to see Tara standing there, her uniform neat and professional, but her expression gentle and warm. Good morning, Rami. Is Nia home? She asked. Rami stepped aside. She's in the living room. Nia, someone is here to meet you. Nia ran forward, nearly tripping over the edge of the rug. She stopped in front of Tara and stared. You're the officer Dad saved? Tara smiled. Yes, I am. And I want to thank you for being so brave. Your father is very courageous, but you, Nia, have a curious mind. I can see that already. Nia blushed, glancing at Rami. Really? You think I could learn more about machines and gadgets? I know you can, Tara replied. I work with a program that helps young minds like yours. We teach kids about technology, safety, and how to use their talents to help others. You would be protected, guided, and trained. You could learn to build amazing things. Rami watched his daughter carefully. He wanted to give her every opportunity, but he also worried about the dangers of the city. Tara, he said cautiously, I appreciate your offer, but Nia is young. I don't want her in danger. Tara shook her head. I understand your concern. The program is designed to keep children safe. We teach them in secure environments and monitor their projects. The goal is to help them grow without putting them at risk. I promise Nia will be safe. Nia's eyes sparkled. I want to try, Dad, please. I can learn so much, and I'll be careful, I promise. Rami looked at her, seeing the determination and excitement in her face. He remembered the way she had stayed calm when her little drones malfunctioned, and how quickly she solved problems when she built her robots. Maybe Tara's program was exactly what Nia needed to grow. All right, he said finally. We can meet her program and see what it is like. But I want to be involved and make sure it's safe. Tara nodded, her face lighting up with a smile. Of course, Rami, you will be part of it. We value parents' guidance as much as the children's curiosity. The following day, Tara brought Nia and Rami to the mentorship center. It was a tall building with glass walls and bright interior lights. Inside, the halls were lined with interactive displays, small robots moving on tracks and kids working on various projects. The air smelled faintly of metal and energy circuits. Nia's eyes widened with amazement. She had never seen so many gadgets in one place. Wow, Dad, she whispered. This is incredible. Tara guided them through the center, explaining the programs and the safety measures in place. Here, children learn robotics, artificial intelligence, and drone navigation. We also teach ethics and responsibility because technology is powerful, and it must be used wisely. Rami watched quietly as Nia's excitement grew. He could see her mind already racing with ideas, thinking about projects she could build, machines she could design, and skills she could learn. Here's your workspace, Tara said, leading Nia to a table with small tools, circuit boards, and a personal computer. You can start with a project that interests you. I will guide you, and I will also check your progress regularly. Safety comes first. Nia ran her hands over the tools, feeling their weight and texture. Thank you, Tara. I won't let you down. I know you won't, Tara replied, smiling. Remember, mistakes are part of learning. Every successful invention comes from trying, failing, and trying again. Rami felt a sense of relief. Tara's words reassured him. He knew that Nia would be in capable hands. But more importantly, he saw the spark in her eyes, the spark of possibility. As the weeks passed, Nia immersed herself in the mentorship program. She learned to program drones, build small robots, and even experiment with artificial intelligence. Tara encouraged her creativity, allowing her to explore ideas while guiding her to use them responsibly. Rami noticed changes in Nia. She was more confident, more focused, and more determined. She shared her discoveries with him at home, explaining complex ideas in simple words, and even helping him improve his hovercraft delivery routes with small gadgets she built. One afternoon, Tara stopped by their apartment to check on Nia's progress. You are doing very well, Nia, she said. I can see your skills growing every day. Your father must be proud, Rami smiled. I am, she's amazing. But I think she is learning more than I could ever teach her. Tara looked at Nia thoughtfully. She has talent, Rami, and talent is powerful, but guidance and support are what make it meaningful. You saved my life, and now I want to help your daughter discover her potential. You gave her a chance to meet someone who can guide her. That is a gift for both of you. Rami nodded. He understood what Tara meant. Saving her had changed their lives in ways he had not expected. Not only had he helped a stranger, but that stranger had returned the favor in a way that would shape Nia's future. One day, while Nia worked on a small flying drone in her workspace, She accidentally triggered a system test that caused a minor security alert in the center. Alarm sounded and red lights flashed briefly. Nia froze, afraid she had done something wrong. Tara appeared immediately, calm and collected. Nia, take a deep breath. You did nothing dangerous. This is exactly why we have safety protocols. Mistakes happen and we learn from them. You handled it correctly by stopping the system immediately. Nia nodded, feeling reassured. I didn't mean to set off the alarm. I was just testing my drone's navigation system. I know, Tara said, and that curiosity is exactly why you will succeed. The important thing is that you respond responsibly, and you did. That is the mark of someone who can handle great responsibility in the future. Rami, who had arrived to check on Nia, smiled. I think you are learning more than just technology, Nia. You are learning courage and responsibility. That is just as important. Nia hugged her father, feeling proud. I want to be like Tara one day, Dad. Someone who helps others and uses their skills for good. Tara watched them with a gentle smile. She already has that potential. And with your guidance, Rami, she will grow into a remarkable person. This is just the beginning. The mentorship program continued and Nia thrived. She built more advanced drones, created small robots that could perform tasks, and learned to code simple artificial intelligence systems. Tara remained a steady mentor, always encouraging, always patient, and always watching for ways to nurture Nia's talent safely. Rami noticed how much Nia admired Tara. She did not just see her as a mentor, but also as a role model, someone who combined intelligence, courage, and kindness. It inspired Nia to work harder and think bigger. One evening, Rami and Nia sat on their apartment balcony, looking at the glowing city below. Nia held a small drone she had built that day, watching it hover smoothly in the air. Dad, she said, I think Tara is helping me become the person I want to be. I want to help others just like she does. Rami smiled, feeling a deep sense of relief and hope. You will, Nia, and I will be there to support you every step of the way. As the lights of Xandor shimmered around them, Rami realized something important. Saving Tara had been an act of courage, but the real change came afterward. Tara had chosen to invest in Nia's future, and that choice was already shaping the young girl into someone extraordinary. For the first time, Rami felt that maybe their small life in the big city could grow into something much greater. The next weeks were full of learning, excitement, and new discoveries for Nia. Every morning, she would wake early, eat a quick breakfast with Rami, and then hurry to the mentorship center with Tara. The city of Xandor buzzed around them, but inside the center, time seemed to move differently. It was a place of curiosity and invention, where machines hummed, lights blinked, and young minds focused on creation. Tara started Nia with small projects. She taught her how to assemble drones, program them to follow simple paths, and even avoid obstacles. At first, Nia made mistakes. Drones crashed into walls, small circuits overheated, and her code produced errors. Tara guided her patiently. Every mistake teaches you something, Nia, Tara said one morning. Even the best inventors fail. What matters is that you learn and try again. Nia nodded, determination lighting her face. She adjusted a drone's rotor, recalculated its flight path, and watched it rise smoothly into the air. I did it, she exclaimed, holding her hands up in excitement. Rami, who often came to check on her in the evenings, watched proudly. You're really learning fast, he said. I knew you had a talent, but you're growing so much more than I imagined. As Nia's skills improved, Tara introduced her to more advanced technology. She learned to work with artificial intelligence, giving her small robots the ability to make decisions and perform tasks independently. She built miniature rescue drones that could navigate through narrow spaces, lift small objects, and report back information. One day, Tara introduced a challenge. Nia, I want you to design a small drone that can map a section of the city and avoid obstacles automatically. This will test both your coding and engineering skills. You will need to plan carefully before starting. Nia studied the plans, her small hands moving quickly as she sketched ideas and calculated measurements. Hours passed, and finally, she created a drone that could navigate a simulated city map on the center's computer system. Tara watched carefully as the drone moved through the simulated streets, avoiding walls and moving objects with precision. This is excellent, Nia, Tara said with a smile. You are learning how to think ahead, predict problems, and solve them before they happen. That is a skill that will help you in any challenge, not just with machines. Nia beamed. Thank you, Tara. I didn't know I could do this. Sometimes we don't see our own strength until someone guides us, Tara replied. And you, Nia, have a lot of strength. Rami noticed that Nia's confidence was growing not just in the center, but at home, too. She explained her projects to him, suggested improvements for his delivery hovercraft routes, and even designed small gadgets to make their apartment more efficient. Her creativity seemed limitless, and Rami realized that Tara's guidance had unlocked a part of her that had been hidden. However, growth was not without challenges. One afternoon, Nia was testing a new drone in the workshop when it suddenly lost control. It zipped across the room, narrowly missing other equipment, and crashed into a wall. Nia froze, her face pale. Tara appeared quickly, assessing the situation. It's all right, Nia. Accidents happen. Let's see what went wrong. Together, they examined the drone. Tara explained the errors in the code and the slight misalignment of the rotors. This is a learning moment, she said. Even when things go wrong, we can fix them. That's how progress happens. Nia listened carefully, correcting the mistakes and testing the drone again. This time it moved smoothly, following its intended path perfectly. She looked up at Tara, her eyes shining. I understand now. I won't give up if I fail. Tara nodded proudly. That's the spirit, Nia. Courage is not about never failing. It is about continuing even when things are hard. You are learning that very quickly. Rami watched this transformation with awe. His daughter, once shy and cautious, was becoming bold and confident. She was learning to trust herself, to take risks, and to solve problems creatively. He realized that the mentorship program was giving her something he could not provide alone, an environment where her talent could grow safely and fully. As Nia's skills expanded, Tara introduced her to teamwork. Other children in the center were working on similar projects, and they were encouraged to collaborate. Nia learned to communicate her ideas clearly, listen to others, and adapt her plans based on feedback. One day, Tara presented a new challenge. There is a section of the city that often faces technical problems: broken street drones, malfunctioning signals, and minor accidents. I want you and your team to design a system that can detect and fix these issues automatically. Nia worked with 2 other children, each with their own strengths. She focused on drone navigation. One child handled programming and the other built mechanical parts. It was a complex project requiring coordination and patience. Nia had to adjust her drone's design to fit with the other parts, debug code that did not always work, and learn to compromise when ideas clashed. Rami visited the center that day and observed quietly. He saw his daughter leading the team, explaining solutions and encouraging her peers. Tara was nearby, guiding but not interfering, allowing Nia to make decisions and learn from them. At the end of the day, their system worked successfully in the simulation. Drones navigated the city map, detected minor issues, and sent signals to repair units. Nia and her team celebrated, proud of their achievement. Tara approached Nia, her face serious but kind. You have done something remarkable today. Not only did you use your skills, but you also worked with others, listened, and adapted. These are the qualities of a leader. Nia blushed but smiled. Thank you, Tara. I learned from you and from my team. Tara nodded. Keep this attitude, Nia. Skills are important, but character and teamwork will take you far. Despite the successes, challenges continued. Nia sometimes faced frustration when projects did not work, when her drones failed, or when her ideas conflicted with others. But Tara's guidance remained steady. She taught Nia to analyze problems calmly, test solutions methodically, and remain persistent. Each challenge became an opportunity for growth, and Nia grew stronger, wiser, and more confident with every project. Rami noticed changes in Nia's behavior at home as well. She became more organized, careful, and thoughtful. She applied her problem-solving skills to everyday tasks, helping him plan efficient delivery routes, fix minor issues around the apartment, and even suggest small energy-saving devices. One evening, as they watched the city lights from their balcony, Nia spoke thoughtfully. Dad, I think I'm learning more than just machines. I'm learning how to think, how to plan, and how to stay calm even when things go wrong. Tara is teaching me a lot. Rami smiled, feeling a deep sense of pride. You are learning courage and responsibility too, Nia. That is more important than any machine you build. Nia nodded. I want to use what I learned to help people, Dad, just like Tara helps others. I want to make a difference. Rami reached out and held her hand. You will, Nia, you already are, and I will always support you. Tara continued to push Nia's skills further. She introduced her to advanced coding challenges, robotic systems that could interact with humans, and drones designed for rescue missions. Nia's favorite project became a small autonomous drone that could navigate tight spaces, lift small objects, and even communicate with a basic AI interface. Through these experiences, Nia not only learned technical skills but also developed courage, empathy, and responsibility. Tara emphasized the importance of using technology for good, teaching Nia that intelligence and skill are meaningful only when used to help others. One afternoon, Tara asked Nia a serious question. Nia, if you ever encounter a dangerous situation, will you use what you've learned to help others, even if it feels scary? Nia thought carefully. Yes, I want to help people. I want to be brave like you, Tara. I will try my best. Tara smiled, placing a gentle hand on Nia's shoulder. That is the most important lesson, Nia. Knowledge and skill are powerful, but courage and compassion make them meaningful. Rami watched this interaction quietly. He realized that the mentorship program was changing Nia's life in ways he had never imagined. She was no longer just a curious girl tinkering with gadgets. She was becoming a confident, thoughtful, and brave young inventor. As the weeks turned into months, Nia's progress continued. She created small robots capable of simple tasks, coded drones to navigate complex environments, and even started designing her own systems. Tara encouraged her to keep pushing her limits while always staying safe. Rami felt a deep sense of gratitude toward Tara. Saving her that day had not only helped her but had also created an opportunity for Nia to grow into someone extraordinary. He realized that courage, mentorship, and love could change lives in ways no one could predict. And in Nia, he saw the promise of a future filled with possibilities where intelligence, bravery, and compassion combined to make a real difference in the world. Weeks had passed since Nia joined Tara's mentorship program, and she had grown in ways Rami had only dreamed of. Her confidence had blossomed, her skills sharpened, and her curiosity seemed endless. But Tara knew that learning inside the center was not enough. True growth came when knowledge was tested in real situations, and she was preparing Nia for that moment. One afternoon, Tara approached Nia as she was finishing a drone calibration project. Nia, I have a special assignment for you, she said, her voice serious but encouraging. It is time for you to apply what you have learned outside the center, in a controlled way. There are areas of the city where minor technical problems occur. I want you to help solve one of these issues using your skills. Nia's eyes widened. Outside the center, really? Will it be dangerous? Tara shook her head. I will be with you. We will take precautions. This is a test of your problem-solving, planning, and courage. You will have to think carefully, stay calm, and act responsibly. Rami, who had come to visit, looked concerned. Nia, are you sure you want to do this? I mean, it's exciting, but the city can be unpredictable. Nia smiled confidently. I'm ready, Dad. Tara will guide me, and I know I can do this. Rami nodded slowly, pride and worry mixing in his chest. All right, but promise me you will follow Tara's instructions exactly. I promise, Nia said firmly. The assignment took them to the northern sector of Zandor, a busy part of the city with narrow streets and crowded hover lanes. Several street drones had malfunctioned recently, causing minor accidents and delays. Nia's task was to identify the problem, repair or adjust the drones, and report her findings to Tara. Tara handed Nia a small toolkit and a portable interface device to connect with the drones. Remember, observe first, Tara instructed. Analyze what went wrong. Plan your solution, then act carefully. Don't rush. Nia nodded, taking a deep breath. She had studied every protocol Tara had taught her, and now it was time to put them into action. The first drone was hovering near a busy intersection, its sensors flickering and spinning erratically. Nia approached slowly, using her device to connect to its system. She observed the problem. A minor code glitch caused its navigation system to misread nearby objects. Okay, Nia said quietly. I can fix this. She carefully entered a sequence of corrections, reprogramming the drone's sensors and stabilizing its flight path. The drone responded immediately, hovering smoothly as if nothing had been wrong. Nia stepped back, smiling. Tara watched proudly. Good observation and quick action. Now the next one will be more challenging. Pay attention to your surroundings and think ahead. The next drone was near a construction site, its movement unpredictable. Nia noticed that debris from the construction was interfering with the drone's sensors. She quickly calculated a new flight path and adjusted the drone's response system to avoid obstacles dynamically. As she worked, a strong gust of wind pushed the drone dangerously close to a wall. Nia's heart raced, but she stayed calm. She entered a final adjustment and the drone steadied. Tara clapped gently. Excellent, Nia, you stayed focused under pressure. That is exactly what courage looks like. It is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite it. Rami, watching from a safe distance, felt a surge of pride. His daughter had faced her first real challenge outside the mentorship center and had handled it with intelligence and bravery. But the test was not over. The final drone was near a narrow alley with unstable scaffolding. It had malfunctioned completely and its signals were erratic. Nia approached cautiously, analyzing the situation. The drone system was more damaged than the others and small sparks flew from its circuit board. This one is tricky, Nia said quietly. I need to stabilize it before I can make repairs. Tara stayed nearby, ready to assist, but letting Nia take the lead. Plan carefully, she reminded her. Think before acting. Nia connected her device to the drone, studied the code, and noted the mechanical damage. She carefully adjusted the stabilizers, corrected the program errors, and patched a small circuit with materials she had brought. The drone hesitated, then lifted steadily, hovering as it should. Nia exhaled in relief. I did it! Tara smiled broadly. You did. This was not just about fixing drones, Nia. It was about observing, thinking, and acting responsibly under pressure. You succeeded because you stayed calm and focused. That is real courage. Rami walked over and hugged her. I am so proud of you, Nia. You handled everything perfectly. Tara was right, you are brave and smart. Nia smiled, feeling a rush of accomplishment. Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Tara. I couldn't have done it without your guidance. Tara nodded. Remember, Nia, challenges will keep coming. The city is full of unexpected problems, and not every solution is simple. But you now have the skills and confidence to face them, and more importantly, you know how to stay calm and make smart decisions. That is what sets you apart. As they walked back toward the center, Nia noticed something strange. A group of drones in the distance was moving irregularly, too quickly and too coordinated to be an accident. Nia pointed. Tara, look! Those drones, they're not behaving like the others. Something is controlling them. Tara's expression turned serious. You are right. This could be a sign of someone trying to interfere with the city systems. Stay calm, Nia. We will investigate safely. Rami's heart pounded. Is it dangerous? Tara shook her head. It can be if we are careless. But we will handle it together. Nia felt a mixture of fear and excitement. Her training had prepared her for challenges. But this was the first time she faced a real threat that could affect the city. She remembered Tara's words. Courage is acting despite fear. They followed the rogue drones carefully, staying out of sight. Nia used her portable device to analyze their patterns, noticing that someone was sending signals to control them remotely. I think they are trying to disrupt traffic and cause confusion, she said. Tara nodded. Good observation. We need to stop them without putting anyone at risk. Can you design a small counter-drone system that can intercept the signals and disable the rogue drones? Nia's mind raced. She had learned enough to attempt it. She quickly drew plans on her interface device, creating a drone capable of following the rogue drones and blocking their control signals. Tara assisted only when necessary, letting Nia take the lead. After several tense minutes, Nia launched the counter-drone. It flew swiftly, intercepting the signals and gradually regaining control of the rogue drones. One by one, they hovered in place, then returned safely to their programmed paths. Tara placed a hand on Nia's shoulder. You did it. You stopped a potential disaster without anyone getting hurt. This is an incredible achievement, Nia. You faced a real challenge and succeeded. Rami hugged her tightly. I can't believe it. You saved the city, Nia. You were amazing. Nia smiled, feeling proud and a little tired. I couldn't have done it without you, Tara. You taught me how to stay calm and think clearly. Tara looked at both of them. You see, Rami, your daughter is capable of incredible things. Courage, intelligence, and compassion can make a real difference. Today, she applied everything she has learned. and tomorrow there will be even more opportunities to grow. As they returned to the mentorship center, Nia felt a new sense of confidence. She had faced a real test outside the center, used her skills to solve problems and help protect the city. Her journey of growth and learning was no longer just about building machines. It was about becoming someone who could make a difference. Rami watched her quietly, pride and hope filling his heart. He realized that saving Tara had not only changed their lives but had set Nia on a path toward courage, responsibility, and extraordinary potential. And as the city lights of Xandor shimmered around them, Nia understood something important. Knowledge and skill were powerful, but the true measure of a person was courage. The ability to act wisely, bravely, and with compassion when it mattered most. The city of Xandor was alive with lights, sound, and motion as evening settled over the towers. Hovercrafts glided silently between buildings, drones patrolled the streets, and citizens moved through the busy streets below. For Nia, the city no longer seemed just a place to explore. It was a world full of possibilities, challenges, and opportunities to make a difference. After weeks of intensive training and real-world challenges, Nia had grown in skill, courage, and confidence. She had learned to build drones, program artificial intelligence, and solve complex problems. She had faced real danger and had succeeded. But the greatest challenge was yet to come, a test that would change her life forever. One afternoon, Tara came to Nia and Rami with a serious expression. "Nia, there is a new mission," she said. "It is more complex than anything you have done before. We have received reports of a malfunctioning network of drones near the industrial district. They are interfering with transportation and safety systems. We need to resolve this quickly and safely." Nia's eyes widened. She remembered the previous challenges and the rogue drones she had helped control. "I can do it," she said firmly. "With your guidance, Tara." Rami looked concerned but proud. "Be careful, Nia. You've done so much already, but I don't want you to take unnecessary risks." "I will be careful, Dad," Nia said confidently. "I've learned a lot. I can handle this." Tara led them to the industrial district, a part of the city with towering factories, narrow streets, and constantly moving vehicles. The area was more dangerous than anything Nia had seen before. Sparks flew from malfunctioning machines, small fires burned along conveyor lines, and rogue drones zipped unpredictably through the air. "This is where skill and caution matter most," Tara said. "Observe first, plan carefully, and act with precision. Remember everything you have learned." Nia took a deep breath and focused. She scanned the area, noticing patterns in the rogue drone's movement and identifying which ones were most dangerous. Using her portable device, she began analyzing their systems, comparing them with previous patterns she had studied. "This is more complex than the others," Nia said quietly. "Someone is controlling these drones remotely. We need to block the signal and stabilize them." Tara nodded. "Exactly. You know how to build a counter-drone system. Apply what you have learned." "I will support you, but this is your test." Nia's heart pounded. She remembered the lessons Tara had taught her about courage, responsibility, and thinking clearly under pressure. She set to work, sketching a plan for a fleet of small counter-drones capable of intercepting the rogue network. Her hands moved quickly but carefully as she assembled the drones and programmed them to respond automatically. Rami watched from a safe distance, holding his breath. "You can do this, Nia," he whispered to himself. "I know you can." The rogue drones began moving erratically, interfering with delivery hovercrafts and factory machinery. Sparks flew dangerously close to the ground. Nia deployed her counter-drones and they quickly moved to intercept the rogue signals. The drones worked together, blocking the control signals and gradually regaining control over the rogue network. But then, something unexpected happened. A larger drone, far more powerful than the others, appeared from a side alley. Its metal frame was reinforced and it moved with speed and precision. It seemed designed to challenge anyone trying to stop the network. Nia realized this was the final test. "This is the big one," she said, her voice steady despite the fear in her chest. "I need to stay focused." Tara placed a hand on her shoulder. "Remember, Nia, courage is acting despite fear. Trust your skills, plan carefully, and take it one step at a time." Nia nodded and launched her remaining counter-drone. The two machines moved toward each other, the air between them crackling with tension. Nia analyzed the larger drone's signals, finding the weak points she could exploit without causing damage. Carefully, She adjusted her programming and maneuvered her counter-drone with precision. The larger drone reacted aggressively, testing Nia's patience and skill. Sparks flew as it dodged and attempted to override her system. Nia's mind raced. She remembered every lesson: stay calm, observe patterns, and use logic over panic. Slowly, she guided her counter-drone to intercept the signals completely, isolating the larger drone from the network. With one final adjustment, the rogue drone stabilized. Its aggressive movements ceased and it hovered harmlessly. The other drones in the network followed suit, returning to their normal functions. Nia exhaled, relief flooding her. Tara approached, her eyes shining with pride. Nia, you did it. This was the most challenging situation you have faced, and you succeeded. You applied every lesson, every skill, and you remained calm under pressure. That is remarkable. Rami rushed forward and hugged her tightly. I knew you could do it. I am so proud of you, Nia. You saved the district from a disaster. You were amazing. Nia smiled, exhausted but proud. I couldn't have done it without you, Tara. You taught me everything I know. Tara shook her head gently. You did this, Nia. I only guided you. The courage, intelligence, and determination came from you. Today, you proved that you are ready for even greater challenges. After the mission, Tara invited Nia to the center to review the results. She showed her how the counter-drone network had successfully prevented accidents, restored safety systems, and ensured smooth transportation. Nia could see the impact of her work. The feeling was unlike anything she had experienced, a combination of pride, responsibility, and purpose. Rami stood beside her, quietly observing. He realized that the decision to let Nia join Tara's program had changed her life completely. She had grown from a curious, inventive girl into a capable, confident young problem solver. The mentorship had unlocked her potential, and the challenges had given her the courage to use it. That evening, as they returned home, Nia carried her small drones carefully. The city lights reflected in her eyes, and she spoke with quiet determination. Dad, I want to keep learning. I want to help people and make the city better. I want to do more than just build machines. Rami smiled, feeling a deep sense of hope. You already are, Nia. You are making a difference, and I will always support you. Tara has given you guidance, but your courage and intelligence are what make you special. Nia hugged her father tightly. Thank you, Dad. And thank you, Tara, for believing in me and teaching me how to be brave and responsible. The next days were filled with recognition and excitement. Tara formally offered Nia a permanent place in the mentorship program. She would continue to learn, design advanced systems, and participate in city safety projects. Nia accepted enthusiastically, ready to embrace the opportunities ahead. Rami, inspired by Nia's growth and courage, began thinking of ways he could contribute. He considered starting a small tech workshop in their neighborhood to teach children basic robotics and programming. He realized that by supporting others like Tara had supported Nia, he could help more children discover their potential. Nia continued to thrive in the mentorship program. She designed innovative drones capable of assisting in emergencies, helped improve city infrastructure, and collaborated with other young inventors on advanced projects. Her intelligence, creativity, and courage continued to grow, and she became an inspiration to other children in the program. One evening, Nia and Rami stood on their apartment balcony, looking at the glowing city below. The lights reflected on the towers, drones flew through the sky, and the streets bustled with life. Nia held a small drone in her hands, watching it hover steadily. Dad, she said softly, I think my life has changed forever. Tara showed me what I can do, and I realized that courage, skill, and helping others are the most important things. I want to keep learning and making a difference. Rami smiled, feeling a deep sense of pride and gratitude. You are already making a difference, Nia, and this is just the beginning. Your life will be full of opportunities and challenges, and I know you will face them with courage and heart. Tara visited them that evening, smiling at Nia's excitement and confidence. You have grown so much, Nia. You have faced challenges, applied your skills, and shown bravery. You are ready for the future, and I am proud to have been part of your journey. Nia hugged Tara tightly. Thank you. You changed my life forever. I want to keep learning and helping others just like you taught me. Tara nodded. Remember, Nia, the lessons you learned are not just about machines. They are about courage, responsibility, and compassion. Use them wisely, and you will continue to make the world better. As the city lights of Xandor shimmered around them, Rami realized that the decision to help Tara had changed their lives in ways he could never have imagined. Saving her had opened doors for Naya, allowed her talents to flourish, and set her on a path of growth, courage, and purpose. For Naya, the journey had just begun. She had discovered her potential, faced real challenges, and learned that courage, intelligence, and kindness could shape her future. With Tara's guidance, Rami's support, and her own determination, she was ready to embrace whatever the city or the world had to offer. And so, a new chapter began in Nia's life, a chapter filled with hope, courage, and the promise of a future shaped by her talents, her choices, and the people who believed in her.